Is purchasing a car part of your dream life? What if I told you that in one country, simply getting the right to own one costs a whopping $106,619? Welcome to Hear the Web. I'm Tom.
And I'm Lily. Our story today hones in on Singapore, where cost of car ownership is sky high thanks to a unique system introduced in 1990 called COE, or Certificate of Entitlement.
Right, so this COE is something you need before you even think about purchasing a vehicle. And the government auctions these every 2 weeks, controlling the available number of certificates.
So essentially, the desire to own a car goes through an auction skirmish. And get this, due to taxes and import duties tossed into the equation, Singapore has earned the title of being the most expensive place on the planet to buy a car.
You're talking about buying a regular Toyota Camry hybrid at about 6 times the US price. Imagine walking into a showroom ready to part with a staggering $250,000 for a standard car. That's some hefty bank account dent.
Exactly. But it's also important to realize that COE doesn't just pertain to cars. Other vehicles like motorcycles and commercial vehicles also have their own types of COEs. Now, it seems like there's an upward movement with COE prices hitting record highs for several consecutive months.
It appears the post-pandemic recovery and the government's plan to cut rebates for certificates next year have driven the prices up. The lowest COE for a car now costs about $104,000, which is almost triple the price from 2020.
And you would think that these prices might deter potential car buyers, but Alice Chang from Toyota Borneo Motors says otherwise. In fact, whenever they have luxury cars, they get queues outside their stores.
Well, Singapore does frequently rank as having one of the largest numbers of millionaires globally. But for the average Singaporean earning about $70,000 annually, owning a car has become an uphill battle.
And in a rather strategic move, the Singaporean government is motivating its residents into using public transport, which is highly ranked and has seen more than $60 billion committed to expanding and renewing the rail network.
With these sky-high car costs and concerted effort to boost public transportation, it's no wonder the city-state, home to around 5.5 million people, only had under 1 million private cars on the road last year.
More than just being a car ownership program, the COE is a balance of supply and demand, maintaining congestion control. The number of new COEs available directly correlates to how many older cars are taken off the roads.
So, it all boils down to careful regulation of the car market and minimizing gridlock. But at prices that have tripled since the previous year, this presents a steep barrier for the average Singaporean.
And that's our takeaway for today. The dream of car ownership might just remain that, a dream for ordinary Singaporeans.
But who knows? Things change, economies evolve, and cars? Well, they may become more accessible, even in Singapore. That's it for today's episode of Hear the Web. Thanks for joining us.
Don't forget to tune in next time for more interesting global stories. Keep listening, folks.